Hello, everybody, and welcome to AJS News. This is the 44th episode. We've been doing this quite a long time, and to help us continue doing it quite a long time, we have a brief message from our sponsor.
Check it out.
Hi, hello there. I'm Angry Joe, and for years I have been abusing myself and my cast members for your enjoyment and approval. But now, there is another horrible type of abuse happening to our cast, and we need your help to fight it. Demonetization on YouTube. This horrible practice deprives us of the chance of doing our jobs, bringing you all of the entertainment at the cost of our personal, emotional, and physical well-being. But with your help, we can stop this new type of abuse while continuing to abuse ourselves for your enjoyment. If you can, please consider clicking the link below. Let's help keep the abuse coming for another decade strong. Thank you.
Hits me right in the feels. Guys, if you'll please support our continued abuse of all of our cast members here
Got
at
everlasting bruises.
Angry Joe Show,
Yeah.
including me, Joe. Joe gets it the worst, but we promise if you support us on Patreon and the YouTube join button, we'll start doing more abuse to Alex. All
Yes.
right? I think Alex needs
Yeah.
a little bit more.
I think so. I agree
What?
with that.
Because this guy's always dressing up. But all right, guys. So what do we got for the news? Oh, wait. There was some stories that I wanted to follow up on. From our previous review, we talked about in Birds of Prey that it potentially was going to be a bomb. And guess what?
It wasn't doing so well.
It's a bomb. Lowest opening, 33 million. It is dead last in the DCEU openings. And why do you guys think that is?
One is rated R, so they lost a lot of their audience built in.
Yeah,
and then
the girls,
was
because
the
they cut off a
story.
lot of teen segment.
Yeah.
Right. So the younger teens that shop at Hot Topic can't really go to the
Yeah.
film. And then, like you said, the story.
Well, I mean, the story is not something that's going to hurt sales going forward, right? But I think this movie was marketed kind of poorly.
Yeah.
And so they cut out their audience already by being PG-13, and then they didn't advertise it, so no one was going to go see this movie. And I don't know. It can be dumb fun for a lot of people. None of us, you should check out a review. Mike OJ put the link up somewhere. But,
Yeah.
it's hard.
Yep. And so we just wanted to follow up on that. And yes, we did watch the Oscars. Some pretty surprising things there. Parasite won. And we'll give you our opinions. We're actually this week we're going to film our top 10 best films and top 10 worst films of 2019. There's a little bit of a lull. There's not many games here in February, but we're going to continue to bring you the great content. So continue supporting our show, and let's get to the gaming news.
All right. Well, Phil Spencer of Xbox came out and in an interview was saying that they don't really see Sony and Nintendo as competitors, right?
Bullshit.
So it sounds really, really odd, right?
Bullshit. I'm smelling bullshit.
Like, what are you doing?
All right. So what he was referencing is he's saying that, look, Google and Amazon are really breaking into this cloud gaming thing. And Microsoft Xbox has put so much money, billions, he said, was it $15 billion
Yeah, they were doing that
into
anyway,
their
this
cloud
gaming.
gaming. And look, they've got an excellent cloud game, probably the best cloud gaming service that exists.
that's the service. Like it hasn't really done much for
No.
our games. Crackdown 3, anybody?
Yeah.
Wow, the power of the cloud.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, he wanted.
But the Xbox Game Pass is where they're killing.
Yeah, they're doing really well. So he said that that's not to disrespect Nintendo and Sony, but the traditional gaming companies are somewhat out of position. I guess they could try to recreate Azure, but we've invested tens of billions of dollars into cloud over the years.
So they're worried about Google Stadia.
Yeah, who is
Ooh, they scared?
Who is worried about Google
They
Stadia?
are.
This to me sounds like, it's like Microsoft has left the chat. Or it's
Yeah.
like, where we're treating in a new direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all aren't our competitors anymore because you raged quit the game.
Yeah.
You're trying to do your own little
you
club.
fucked
Be
it
like,
up.
who let this guy in?
Well, why would you?
Oh yeah, well I can't compete. Well, I'm gonna just take my toys and I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna make a console that doesn't need a console, and then nobody will have to buy any games, or I will own all your games and you'll pay me $5.99 a month so that you can play.
Yes.
But they don't have any games to go home with. Like, that's the problem with Xbox right now is they
Right.
got so savaged in the console war because you didn't make any games.
Yeah.
And so PlayStation is just
Try.
sitting over there. Like, Nintendo came
They
out
made
this week.
Halo and Gears. Excuse me.
Oh, and see
Halo and Gears.
Yeah.
It's
those
gotten
are-
better,
Every year.
apparently.
You get.
And okay, but anyways, and I'm making fun of Microsoft. I do see what they're saying.
Yes.
They're looking to the future, and they think the future is going to be the cloud gaming,
Yeah.
the cloud services, and that may very well be. And we will look back and say, you know what? All right, maybe. But for now, no, you're getting made fun of. You ain't.
Yeah.
You're losing, and you're just leaving, and you're walking.
Isn't it a weird thing for him to be saying right before their new console, their actual physical, you need to
It is
buy a
very-
console? It's like, why are we talking about this now?
It is.
Wait 3 years after your console comes out when people start buying it less and go, no, the next big thing is the cloud.
It's just
But-
giving us so many reasons not to buy the cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So weird.
All right, well, the next bit of news is Dan Houser departs Rockstar Games. Now, this is something that a lot of people have covered, but there's really two sides to this story, and really people have only been touching on one. Now, Dan Houser is really important guy, right? He was one of the founding members, he and his brother. He's credited as the writer on most of the Grand Theft Auto games, Grand Theft Auto 2 to Grand Theft Auto 5, head writer on Bully, Red Dead Redemption, Max Payne 3, and Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay.
It's a big story. It's a big person leaving.
Yeah.
Now, done tons of work for them. He's not leaving for somewhere else. He's just done. Like, he's made his money. He worked really, really hard on all these
retire.
games.
Okay.
He's probably done. He'll probably do something else. He may
Good
get
for him.
picked up somewhere else. But the other thing is, we keep talking about like the financial health of some of these gaming companies, and him leaving just within one day. Take two, the share price dropped by 6% in a single day, which is about $800 million in stock value. And since then, it has dropped even further. It's more than double those losses now. It's like 1.65 to 1.7 billion dollars in lost value. This is a big guy for them to lose. Now, I'm not saying that there's not other people that are going to come up and try to fill those shoes. Maybe even a team of people to try to fill the shoes to try to write for these games. But this is a big deal for Rockstar to
They
lose this
need to
person.
just hire him and just like leave him on there. It's like you don't have to do anything. It's just for the investors.
Yeah, put your name
he's
on the
he's
damn
back
building.
on.
Yeah, don't worry about
Wow, Joe, business
Yeah,
101
it's like,
over
stay
here.
retired. It's like, no, he's back. He's
Yeah.
back. He's in his office.
it. OJ's Business 101. Lie to your investors.
Lie to your investors.
Hey man,
Okay,
that's
never mind.
$800 million.
I knew that phone was gonna drop, man. We need to buy
I caught
a
it.
table.
I caught it.
Yeah, all right.
Well, yeah.
God dang. it.
Someday
So-
I will have
wow,
my
that
own
guy
table.
is very important. I
Yeah.
didn't realize he would have that much impact on
Yeah.
their stock price. But stocks. Come on,
They-
man. This is up and down, and next week it could be up. Next month it could have completely recovered.
Yeah.
It just depends. The second they make an announcement of their next video game or their next franchise that they're doing, I
Yeah.
think that it will recover. There.
It certainly can.
But it does
Sox,
show you the importance. That
Yeah, I mean, you think about the most important games that they've released, and Grand Theft Auto 5 is like the money maker of like the decade,
sure,
right?
for sure.
And so like losing the head writer of that game, which I loved. I mean, I absolutely love playing that game. So, so big deal. All right, we got another player gets added to the cloud gaming, the rush.
challenger.
Yeah. NVIDIA. NVIDIA launched Geforce Now, cloud gaming service.
NVIDIA, we love NVIDIA.
Yeah, $5 a month.
They love our show. They've sponsored us in the
I
past.
have more faith in them than the other one.
And then Google? Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I've I've bought some of their stuff that didn't really take off, like the Shield.
Yeah.
Very, very niche, but it worked for the time. So now they're gonna do cloud gaming, and I looked at it, and they're doing the one thing that I think people will buy into, and that is done the right way, is you pay and you get access to the games. You don't pay to then pay again on each individual games. No, you just pay for the subscription service in order to access your library of games that you've already
interfaces with
purchased.
Steam and all those other things. Yeah.
That is how you do it!
Business 101.
Yeah.
There's business 102. Like, that was the most obvious fucking thing. And, so I'm happy. I want NVIDIA to swoop in up under here and get all the success that Google Stadia could have had if they weren't such boneheaded, and just dumb.
One word. All they had to do was stamp beta on it, and everything would have been fine. But they're like, no, this is a finished
I
product.
don't think it. Well, I guess, but it's
You would have been able to
a
forgive them for some
rough-ass
things,
launch. But yeah, you could more easily forgive it.
Yeah.
And charge people
They're
beta
working on
prices,
it. Yeah.
or reduce the prices on that stuff. But no. So, do you have any more details?
Yeah, there's
on
two.
that
There's
service?
two different tiers. There's actually a free tier, which is really nice. You can only play for about an hour. I think it is 1 hour at a
Try it
time.
out.
The paid tier is up to 6 hours.
Yeah.
Now they're wondering. There's people questioning, because even they mentioned that there's going to be server queues, and how, if you're on the free plan, how long is it going to take to get into these things? But they did say that they're
Honestly, I don't give a shit. I think the free plan is just like a demo kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
if you're gonna
probably.
try to live and die on the free plan, then hey.
Both plans support streaming at 1080p and 60 frames per second. And then rather, like you mentioned, rather than offering its own library, they allow users to add games from their existing libraries, including Steam,
Yeah.
Epic Game Store, some of the big ones. So if you've purchased games elsewhere, you'll be able to play it on this one. They've got 30 free-to-play games, as well as 1,000 more titles available through single-session installs on Steam.
GeForce Now
Yeah.
cloud gaming.
You have to have a 15 Mbps internet connection, and recommends 25. But this sounds pretty good. I mean, it's something that I want to test out. I want to actually see how it
I'm
works.
curious if it's like only with the games that are like, that are pushing NVIDIA. What happens, is it for games that show AMD, logos?
Oh, you think they're
when
going
they
to gate
start?
those ones
I
off?
don't
It's like,
know.
oh,
I
that
don't
one
know.
doesn't work because,
I'm curious. I'm curious.
Yeah, we'll have to look into something like that. We got some bad news, more bad news from Ubisoft.
Well, hold on. Let's not get away from this. They got, graphic fidelity, 120 frames per second. What is the lag looking like? The milliseconds are relatively low. People who have tried it are happy with it. So,
Yeah.
And in terms of beta testing, then you know what? These guys should come out and beta test. They should. The beta's already begun a long time ago, actually 2 years ago. So they
Damn.
were doing it the correct way.
They were trying it, testing it for a long time.
Trying it for
It's gonna
many years.
market
They
to
have been
market. It's going to be
testing
really,
this.
really different though. Like,
So it's got to be weird for NVIDIA to sit around and know that their cloud gaming service is out, and then they see the stumbling like NVIDIA fucking Google comes,
oh,
hey,
Stadia, you
what's
drunk."
up, guy? What is that? You doing that?
Daddy's back.
I tell you what, I do it right now. Fuck you, man. Let me show you how it's done.
So, do you have any money?
Yeah.
Do you have any more money? Need some more.
What about like a Founders edition, where you can give me another $130?
Fuck.
Well,
that.
Stadia's got to do something. It's really important for them because all of the subscriptions are coming up.
Well, they're looking better now compared to this.
What?
What,
are
Stadia?
you talking about?
No, Nvidia.
Oh, Nvidia's looking much.
Jesus
Yeah, in
Christ.
comparison, everything looks better to than Google Stadia.
Yeah, but no, subscribers are leaving. Google Stadia, they're like, all right, thanks.
You
Yeah.
Thanks for
promised
nothing.
us
But
things
they
and-
paid for the controller. You're going to have it for a while. And eventually, if they get their stuff together, then maybe people will come back, but probably not. Like,
Yeah.
the second that any of these other people figure out how to deliver product to the market in a way that makes
Yeah.
people happy and where they own their own games, it's over. Like, that's going to be the one to win. So we'll just have to see if it's Microsoft, whether it's NVIDIA.
NVIDIA, look us up. Send us one of those.
Send me one. I want
Send
one.
us one of those. We'll beta test it.
Yeah.
All right. Now into some bad news for Ubisoft. They had an investor call, as everyone these last couple of weeks had an investor call to discuss, and they said that Beyond Good and Evil 2, a game that we're all looking forward to, is not part of the plan for the next fiscal year. So the earliest we'll get to play it is after April of 2021. So that's another really big game that we were expecting to come out this year.
Damn it.
And in this call, they announced.
I don't know if I expected that one this year. It kind of fell out of my mind.
What
but I'm really excited about it.
Well, it looked amazing.
So that we need some
during
big
some
ones
of
for 2021.
It was a big project, so I was expecting it to
Yeah,
be
to be
delayed or
delayed a
something.
bunch.
Yeah.
But you have to realize that Ubisoft, they're releasing 5 games this year. Only 5.
Well, they were 4 AAA games within the
But
next year.
3 of them were from last year.
Oh, yeah.
So they were only going to release 2 games this year.
That's fine, man. They're doing it the right way, though. This is what we asked them to do, and they're doing it.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, their investors and their monies are taking a hit, but this is the right way to do it.
Yeah.
And their games should and hopefully be more polished. Now, if for whatever reason these games start to come out and they're like Anthem, Ubisoft is in big fucking trouble.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. I think that they're taking all this extra time so they can put time and effort into the one. So Ubisoft, big thumbs up. And you know what? I don't mind. Beyond Good and Evil 2, 2021. I'm going to be
April.
Cyberpunk this year anyway, even though that got delayed into September. Well, God, man.
I forgot.
Getting delayed.
Everything's getting pushed back. So Ubisoft is going to have Gods and Monsters, which looks pretty good. Rainbow Six Quarantine, which I don't care.
This is this year?
This year.
Mm-hmm.
Watch Dogs Legion, which I'm actually really excited
Yes.
for. I cannot wait to play
The
that with these
Golden
guys.
Girls.
We're going to be the
Yes.
Golden Girls. And then 2 unannounced titles, so probably... I know it could be something good, but I don't think I have heard anything about these other two titles. So
Okay.
we'll just have to see what this
So-
year.
Good. I want some surprises, too.
Mm-hmm. Now, in a real quick story that I wanted to make sure that we covered is Sony has filed a new patent for in-game resource surfacing platform. So this is for the next PlayStation, and it's an AI that watches you play your game, and when you suck at the game or you can't beat a certain
I don't
boss,
like it already.
yeah.
You're playing that. What is
Hey,
it? That volleyball one with the ladies.
Oh, Dead or Alive.
Yes, the live volleyball. So, hey,
Beach volley.
do you need some help? No, I'm fine. Leave me alone.
I wasn't doing nothing. I was playing volleyball.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
What?
I don't
What is
want-
this?
I
An
don't want people
AI
watching.
watches you play.
And when you can't beat a boss or you get to a point where you can't win, it says, "Well, look, we have all the information from all of these other users.
We'll help you out."
We can help you out." But the problem is on the patent itself on the screen of the TV, it's like, "Would you like to buy the resource you need? Would you like to buy the resource that you need to beat this boss?"
That's
so
crap.
lots of game companies.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Is that what this is?
It could be.
Is that what this is? Fuck that.
Yeah.
Hell
No.
no. You know what, Joe? You remember that one time we were playing Borderlands 3 like Epic Store, and then that little pop-up happened while we was playing? It's like, would you like to buy Borderlands 3?
I was like, wait.
What the fuck? I'm playing Borderlands 3, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
Number 1, get this fucking ad out of here. Number 2, you moron, I'm playing the game that you're providing me. And so now you're telling me that, Corporate Commander, oh, man, he's going to love this fucking
Oh,
news.
yeah. He's purposely
He-
going to make it impossible.
You're making the game harder.
He
Yeah.
usually has to wait till you show up and you go into the credit screen or the menu screen where it's like, hey, how's it going? You want to buy this? You want to buy that? But no,
I
now
don't like
he
it.
gets a little pop-up and say, oh, I see that you're having trouble with
Or
the
we're
game.
going to make it harder so you have trouble.
No.
So
Did you know that you can buy best value, $99.99?
Fuck that.
5 easy payments. Now, all sorts of game companies own all sorts of horrible patents, right? They file for these things all the time. They don't necessarily use them. This
Good.
isn't
I hope that they don't
necessarily a bad thing, but
It better-
could be horrible.
It could be.
I think it's
Like
a
I
bad-
said, they're going to be like, all right, it's going to be impossible unless you buy this.
Yeah, you're going to play Sekiro 2, and you're just like, well, you can't beat this. It's like, yeah, I know, because I'm bad at this. Well, what if I could give you parry points for $7?
Yeah,
So-
and I mean the only part that I've seen that could be positive out of this is a feature that not many people will use. I think Google Stadia hinted at it, and some other streaming services where it's like pause your game and you can have your friend take over, and your friend can maybe like play through that section for you. But it's like, man, you're
was
just
the fun
taking
of
the
that.
reward out
Yeah.
of it. Just do it yourself and and get that feeling of overcoming a difficult boss and doing it yourself.
feel a lot
I don't
better.
really see any good things coming out of this
Me
because
neither.
Unfortunately, a lot of these companies abuse their powers, and they know people like their franchises and their games, and they'll buy no matter what. Sports games, and so they will gear things towards making those purchases attractive.
But what if it was like interface? Did you ever buy those old Prima strategy guides? I know you guys didn't play Final Fantasy, but there was all these old strategy guides, and then they'd have like
Yeah,
cool
but I
things.
don't want fucking shit in my face.
That's true.
I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck. Let me go on the internet and
like a
search
game
Prima
jam?
Guide or something.
Yeah.
That's fine. Or maybe put it in the menu hidden somewhere deep.
No,
Don't
I
fucking
don't want
put it
it.
anywhere. I don't want pop-ups. I don't be like, hey, you having trouble?
Would you like to know more?
No.
Nope.
All right. Well, speaking of PlayStation 5, so there's a lot of worries about the coronavirus right now delaying certain things. We know that the production of iPhones are being delayed. We know that the Switch production, that the ones to go to Japan, are being delayed right now. And now it's rumored that PlayStation 5 and Xbox are both being hurt by some of the quarantines, right?
Yeah.
So it's people aren't going out, and it's a big deal. I mean,
It is.
it could just be a couple weeks,
It is.
and hopefully that's all that it is. But these game companies and the manufacturers are taking precautions to make sure that more and more people aren't getting sick.
I hope they are. They're doing their due diligence and trying to contain the virus and get that going. Because obviously people's lives are at risk. It sucks that our video game consoles are getting delayed and production in China. But I just hope that they get a hold of that thing because it can be scary.
Yeah.
And I don't want people overblowing it. The death mortality rate is less than 5%. It's like something like 2%.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot more than flu. So it's definitely a more aggressive strain of flu. It definitely transmits and has been transmitting faster than SARS, so that's a little concerning.
Yeah.
Some people erroneously say, it doesn't live outside the body very long. I think it can actually live up like 4 days. So it seems like it can transfer pretty easily, but hopefully that doesn't spread too. I mean, we every day I'm looking at news stories on the coronavirus. It's a little scary to see where all the little things are popping up. By the way, I think it was like Nukem Dukem who we saw.
Yes.
He was saying he was gonna go on a cruise for his honeymoon. I'm like, dude. Do not go on a cruise right now. Like seriously, if you guys are considering going on cruises, you might get stuck on a ship for like a month or two. Cordoned on. So guys, be smart about your travel and don't
Wear mask.
Wear mask.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. Wear a
Hands
mask.
sanitizer.
Be healthy. I think they say masks are effective against it, but and I guess that's why masks are selling out. I've been seeing like inventory is real low on masks over there. But yeah, it's scary and coronavirus. I don't want it to get out of control because it will fuck shit up.
Well, I mean, it's going to do interesting things in if this is true, right? And in the holiday season this year, if there are delays and there are shortages, it may mean that you can't get a PS5 before Christmas time. Or you couldn't get an Xbox if you were going to be one of the people that decided to buy an Xbox inexplicably. So,
and don't think that your PS5, I get so freaking paranoid. It's like, wait, my PS5's going to be fucking... I got coronavirus on my PS5. Where was this made? Was this made? Where?
yes, who
Where?
coughed on this?
Right, who coughed on this? But no, over there they have processes in order to ensure that the people working on and working in the assembly line, because obviously these are companies that want to make money and they know that they will get fucked up by coronavirus. So they have those little temperature guns. Have you seen those? They're even using them in the airports now. Just like they'll point a gun at you and take your temperature.
Yeah.
Shit.
Right. Yeah.
Don't move.
Yeah. To see whether you're healthy enough to work or whether you have a fever, and they will not let the workers work on your shit if they have a fever. But
Who's the person who's blowing up they don't use packaging peanuts anymore. They use those bags of air. There's someone in there blowing up the air. They're constantly monitoring that
Nobody
guy.
pop those.
Yeah, don't pop them.
So prayers to you guys over there in China and all the best wishes and just take it very seriously, and I hope they got it because obviously we don't want it spreading to the other countries, even though it has already in certain cases. And I've seen some pretty fucked up videos online of like people getting stuffed into the back of a truck and
Jeez, like, no, that's
screaming
it.
and crying.
I swear.
Now you look at the comments and they're like, "Oh my God, they're killing them and on the streets and they're gonna drive them and murder them." I don't think so. I think that because China's building a lot of hospitals in order to, and then some people just don't want to go because you always have them lazy assholes. It's like, no, I'm fine. Like me, I never want to go to the doctors. I'm like, nah, don't worry about it. I'm fine. And some people might be like that where they're like, okay, no, you're coming with us right now.
Yeah,
to the
you make
hospital.
people's food like
Dead
you
or
cannot.
alive.
Yeah.
Coming with
Right.
me.
So that might just be that they're putting them in the cars and sending them to the hospitals.
I hope.
But just
I hope.
I hope too. So wishes and prayers over there to get that under control,
I'm
and let's
fine.
get a cure for coronavirus as soon as possible.
Yeah. All right. The last little bit of fun that it's been a while since we poked Anthem a little bit and kicked them while they're down because they've been down for over a year now.
Yeah. I saw a few news stories. Right, the Christmas decorations are still up.
It's not Christmas. It's
I just took my
Ice
Christmas,
Tide.
Decorations last week.
Oh, it is
Tree's
gone. The
gone,
tree's
yeah.
gone.
It's
Yeah.
not gonna-
Yeah. The
here and at my girl's house, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fault them for.
okay. So
They're
the
just trying to stay relevant. It's like, what can we do? Let's do some spicy. Let's leave our Christmas stuff up.
you think it's they purposely did it?
Finally
They're like
getting news, Joe.
that. Like they had nothing to put up.
What else do they
That's
have?
embarrassing.
They got nothing.
Right.
All right. Well, the official story is the Ice Tide event was added to the game back in December, with festive wreaths and holiday lights and blanketing its sprawling landscapes in beautiful coat of fresh snow. It was purposefully extended beyond this point, right? So they wanted it to be up. It was a buggy mess because it was an Anthem expansion, and so they extended it a little bit so that people would have time to do it.
Play in the snow a little
But
longer.
what it looks like is that there's absolutely nothing
one
to release
working on
for
it.
Anthem, and they're either not working on it at
y'all are
all,
being
or they're working on a completely redoing everything like they had kind of rumored to. The issue with that is EA had another investor call. Everyone's having investor calls, and Anthem wasn't brought up once. So if they're putting significant time and resources to making a new version of Anthem, there's some good things there, but just like fleshing the game out and putting some things in there, you think that they would have told the investors, but
Yeah.
they didn't even use the word Anthem at all.
Kind
in
of
that call.
curious about their player count.
There's
Very
probably
low.
7,
7.
maybe 8.
Yeah.
I mean,
one of the guys thought it'd be funny to post to Reddit that
Yes.
the Christmas lights are up, and all the YouTubers, including us, picked up on the news story. But
We're
we did
talking
not
about 'em.
go too far, and we are fair.
Yes.
Because honestly, it's like, hey, you guys want to play in the snow a little longer? We realized that it took us a while to fix some of these bugs. Enjoy the
Have
snow a
some
little
fun.
longer.
Make a
and
snowman.
it's not like, okay, we're going to put a mini update within the update to remove just the Christmas lights but leave the snow.
Yes.
It's like, come on, man. Let them just leave, just
Leave
have
them
fun.
alone.
they're already dead. He's
At
already
this point,
dead.
I
Leave
have
them
kicked them
alone.
sufficiently. Is there not enough blood on the ground? At least they're not
Still
like
a pulse.
fucking
Hit
up
'em.
over and over in a negative way, like say Fallout 76. So I'm starting to feel
We'll
like,
see.
hey, leave
You
him
wanna- do you
alone.
wanna do it?
Leave him
Do you
alone.
wanna do some
Leave him
Fallout?
alone.
I think all of us have to play it. The
Well,
expansion.
I'm sick that day.
No, you're not.
I'm sick.
No, you're not.
So
Well, I wasn't
I'm
gonna.
wondering
you,
if
you-
this is be the last we hear about Anthem, or
Ever?
whether they do have that update.
Oh, I hope
don't
so.
know. They did say that they do, but honestly, as in business sense, doesn't make much sense.
Nope.
I think they should probably just move on.
they'll release another pack for FIFA and make up all the money they lost on Anthem, so it won't matter.
And that
Unfortunately,
Act 2,
that's
Act
so
3,
true.
I don't know if any of that stuff is coming to fruition, or it'll probably just be, dumped, in a small update and not as extensive as it was.
Yeah,
going
their roadmap for Anthem is just it's a barrel that's filled with fire, and that's all that it is. It's like
Here it comes.
Yeah. So you brought it up. I didn't want to bring it up, but you mentioned Fallout 76. There is a little bit of an update I wanted to make mention. There's a real fun new hack for Fallout 76.
Oh, yeah.
All existing hacks that have been around, but now there's a brand new module that you can just click and look at a little drop-down menu for infinite health, or you can search for items. You can see people even if they're outside of the range that you normally be able to see them. God mode. So all the real fun things that have existed in Fallout 76, but now it's even easier to cheat if
tough.
you want to, because it's an 8-year-old game engine. that they didn't do anything for,
Yeah.
and they're reusing resources, and so like these hacks are just going to continue to happen forever.
And I do feel a little sorry for Bethesda because at this point, people are coming after them.
Yeah,
and
they're
hacking
doing
them.
it,
It's
yeah.
really tough to prevent against hackers and shit like that when they've got a hold
Yeah.
of your game. I mean, look at Rockstar and how flush with money they are, and how many issues they had with Grand Theft Auto Online. So yeah, I feel a little sorry for them, but hey, a lot of it was brought upon themselves.
Yeah, they did do one good thing right recently. All of the people who had all of their items stolen. Remember last
Yeah,
month we
they
talked
got
about
back.
everyone got a cloned copy of their character, plus 8,000 atoms and all
then
of their things
some, yeah.
back. So they're trying. We want them to fix the game, especially if these two are going to be forced to play it. I'm sick that day.
No, you're playing
and
Everyone
now
is.
you have your own computer
Everyone
setup.
is.
Everyone.
all right, that's all we got this week.
Guys, make sure you check out the links down below. Patreon join button. We could use your help and support. Form that backbone
Help
of the
with the
Angry
abuse.
Army. The Mobile Infantry Division supporting us directly. And, yeah, thank you guys so much. Much more content to come, and we'll see you. Oh, we also got a big Warcraft and Blizzard news story, so check that one out as well.
Yep.
All right, guys? See you on the next one.